Federal government labels Nigeria as a prime investment destination. The Senate receives executive communication seeking approval of Rivers State 2025 budget of 1.48 trillion naira. And Nigeria calls for multilateral reform amid global instability at EU-AU ministerial meeting in Brussels, Belgium. Hello and welcome to the late evening news on 11 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Frama Panyi. You've heard the headlines, now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, expressing belief in the quality of the board and management members to turn around the company for optimal efficiency and greater results for the country. The president inaugurated the new board at the State House this Thursday. State House correspondent Musbao Wahab reports.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, got a new set of leadership about 2 months ago. New impetus, new direction expected to get greater results from the country's petroleum resources manager. The new energy of a new management is being felt in the sector already. But then, here are the board members for their formal inauguration.
It is my honor to now label you as inaugurated. Thank you for accepting.
With the country's economy likely relying on its blessings of oil and gas currently, getting the management of the resources right begins with the choice of credible leaders. The President and Minister of Petroleum Resources recounted the meticulous search leading to the selection of the new leaders of the company. And he believes his peaks are equal to the task of delivering a more vibrant and rewarding oil and gas sector.
It's a call to duty to all of you. I believe I have the best that industry can offer to the rest of the world. Today, I believe Nigeria has come of age. Nigeria is becoming more competitive. Nigeria has turned the corner. And with your team, a very highly respected group of people, I'm sure I can relax, I can watch the news now, I can read the news.
The job has been cut out for the leadership with the reforms set in motion under the Renewed Hope agenda, hoping to shore up the crude oil production. The new board and management are clearly aware of this task, and they say the wheel of progress has been set in motion.
Amongst the immediate and urgent priorities that we will be supporting are the initiatives to grow the nation's crude oil production, expand domestic gas utilization, attract our much desired foreign investment into the sector, and lastly, Your Excellency, to lay the foundation for a successful and credible listing of NNPC Limited, just like its peers in the world.
Our hope is to continue to build that production from 1.7 towards 1.9 by the end of the year. That's the current structure that we are building, sir. And we will make sure, Your Excellency, that as executives, through our board, we will promise you, sir, what we truly can deliver. And we will deliver on what we promise, sir.
They've raised brilliant ideas. Now is the time to test them. How can they use those brilliant ideas and transform them to concrete, measurable, volumes to enable Nigeria to meet both our domestic crude oil obligations and also our international crude oil obligations.
With the ongoing reforms under the present administration, the company is expected not just to energize the nation and its economy, but also make NNPCL a great national asset the country would be proud of. From the State House, Musbal Nanwahab, NC News.
And still from the State House, Vice President Kashim Shettima has described Nigeria as a prime investment destination following far-reaching economic reforms that have transformed the country's fiscal landscape and stabilized the currency's regime. He stated this during a meeting with senior executives from Citibank's global leadership at the presidential villa in Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jabrila reports.
This meeting is part of measures to encourage investors, assuring both local and foreign investors of government's commitment to securing investment and implementing policies that foster a transparent and enabling business environment. Vice President Kashim Shettima commended the American bank for its over 4 decades of consistent presence in Nigeria and noted Citibank's important role in supporting the country's economic resilience.
I'm quite pleased to meet you. And on behalf of my principal, I want to thank you most sincerely for your belief in the Nigeria project. Separately, we have been written off. Like the bird phoenix, we have been rising from the ashes of defeat. So we provide the workforce for the future. And we miss the industrial age. We miss the agricultural age. We are now in the knowledge-driven post-industrial age, and we are in a unique position to really take advantage and leapfrog our economy to the AI-driven world of big data, of Internet of Things. And our young people are very versatile.
On fiscal reforms, Vice President Kashim Shettima described the recently passed tax legislation as the most sweeping in the nation's history.
Global companies bring them and do business with them here in Nigeria, and also the Nigerian companies that want to do business in the rest of the world, and we accompany them in that process through facilitating payments, financing, etc., etc.
Mr. Ernesto reaffirmed Citibank's long-term commitment to Nigeria, lauding the government for enacting tough but necessary reforms. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And President Tinubu has communicated to Senate seeking consideration and approval of 1.481 trillion naira budget of 2025 for Rivers State. In the letter read by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, President Tinubu noted that the request is in line with constitutional provisions as Rivers State is being administered by a sole administrator under the emergency rule.
Of the state's education and also agriculture, which is projected to generate approximately 6,000 jobs. The sum of 324 billion is for infrastructure, both ongoing and new projects, while the sum of 166 billion is for the health sector, including 5 billion for free drugs for treatment of malaria and other common ailments.
The request has been referred to the Senate Ad Hoc Committee oversighting Rivers State for further legislative action. In another development, Senate has urged the Inspector General of Police to ensure the appropriate handling of the murder case of one Thomas Zamfara in Hong local government area of Adamawa State after the issue was raised on the matter of privilege by Senator Iya Abbas.
If we did take action, there may be a retaliation and there will be communal clash in that community. So I explain and I leave to the Senate leadership to decide or to instruct IGP to take this case now, since there is conflict between the two departments of police that investigated the case, take it to Homicide Department for proper investigation.
Thursday's plenary was concluded with a tribute to late Senator Joseph Akagege, who represented Benue Northeast between 2011 to 2015. A minute silence was observed in honor of the deceased, who died May 19, 2025, from the National Assembly Lami Ali, NTA News.
And similarly, President Bola Tinubu has equally written the House of Representatives to consider and approve the Rivers State 2025 budget proposal of 1.48 trillion naira. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikben reports that lawmakers in the Green Chamber have given the budget proposal a thumbs up in the quest to sustain democratic processes in the state during the emergency rule.
The current emergency rule in Rivers State leaves no legislative gap, as the National Assembly is constitutionally empowered to legislate for the suspended State Assembly. This informs the President's communication to the House of Representatives for consideration and approval of 1.8 trillion naira budget proposal for Rivers State.
The spending plan priorities investment in critical sectors of the state, such as infrastructure, health, including free drugs for malaria and other common ailments, education, and also agriculture, which is projected to generate approximately 6,000 jobs.
The President has done the right thing because the administrator must spend only appropriated funds.
And of course, for the sole administrator to have a seamless operation, he needs a proper budget. The relevant committees will look at it and come back with their inputs.
Following an urgent motion, the security agencies were urged to swiftly address a resurgence of kidnappings and cattle rustling in the northwest.
This ugly situation may be connected with the recent discovery of gold in the zone. If not urgently and decisively addressed, may escalate and engulf larger part of Kano State, posing severe threat to the safety of citizens.
The House received the report of its Committee on Justice on the need to address withheld bar results and the backlog of students awaiting call to bar. At a public hearing by the House Committee on Industry, proposed amendments to the National Sugar Development Council Act were described as crucial towards a robust sugar master plan.
The President's commitment to being able to have, about a $1 trillion economy, sugar has a big role to play.
It is again a testament to his unwavering commitment to the development not only of the sugar sector but of Nigeria's overall industrialization efforts.
The enactment of this legislation would no doubt enhance competitiveness and increasing the sector's contribution to Nigeria's economy.
The amendments to the National Sugar Development Council Act are also expected to clarify the functions of the council. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
And Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, has urged for a renewed commitment to multilateralism and a thorough examination of challenges hampering global peace and governance during the third EU-AU ministerial meeting in Brussels. Recognizing the EU's continued support for African initiatives, Tugar underscored the importance of African nations sharing their progress and ongoing challenges related to peace, security, and governance. He pointed out urgent issues such as proliferation of small arms, climate change, violent extremism, irregular migration, and fragility of democracy, calling for a deeper reflection beyond standard discussions. To this end, Yusuf Tugar cautioned on the global framework that is increasingly becoming more fragile, while citing the destructive roles of non-state actors, disinformation, and unregulated digital currencies. Despite these challenges, Tugar reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to multilateralism and strategic partnership, highlighting the potential of the African continental free trade area and regional initiatives. We'll pause here, take a short break. We will return with more news.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. for fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis? Tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Welcome back. Now, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has successfully airlifted about 37,000 Nigerian pilgrims after over 90 flights to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as final phase of airlift operation begins. Dr. Alabi has an update on the airlift of pilgrims for this year's Hajj.
At the time of this report, 5,494 pilgrims from the government quota are awaiting airlift as Air Peace is projected to conclude its final Hajj flight on May 24, having secured a slot for the same date. Similarly, UMZA Aviation is expected to complete its operation from Kaduna on the same day with only 3 flights remaining so far. Max Air will round off its airlift operations on May 25. The extension, according to NACON, is due to an increase in the number of pilgrims that continue to register in some of the states assigned to the airline after formal allocation. In a special arrangement, Flynas will conclude its operations on May 30. The final Flynas flight will depart with a full complement of pilgrims, including the governor of Kebbi State. NACON chairman, Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman, in a release by the Assistant Director, Information and Publication, Fatima Sanda Uzara, says it will conduct mop-up flights on 24th May in Kaduna by UMZA, Abuja by Air Peace, and Max Air in Kano. Max Air's final flight will take off from Katsina on 25th May. Regarding the Nuzuk card, NACON has assured the few pilgrims yet to receive their cards to remain calm, as they will receive their cards soonest. The Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, which oversees its issuance in partnership with designated service providers, has directed immediate resolution of all outstanding issues, as NACON is monitoring the process closely to ensure compliance and timely distribution. NACON chairman, however, thanked Allah for the successes achieved so far and prayed for its continuation throughout the Hajj season. Tokbay Alabi, NTA News.
Let's now head to the political scene, as the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just a template for 4 years' journey, but a practical document that envisions the future and with convincing realities for total growth, transformation and prosperity of Nigeria. This is why the Progressive family converged on the State House to present a midterm assessment of the journey so far in key priority areas of government, with a strong appeal for continuity for the renewed hope agenda beyond 2027. Abubakar Akwanga has the report.
This is an assemblage of high-profile personalities across various fields of human endeavor, experts and party stalwarts on the platform of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC. And the mandate here is tied to the renewed hope agenda under the Tinubu's presidency within the period under review. And beyond politics is the renewed hope for infrastructure, sound fiscal policy, healthcare delivery, digital economy, effective policy coordination, and improved national security as evidence of a possible new Nigeria.
Your Excellency, another flagship project that is driving regional integration is the Kano-Kaduna Standard Gauge Railway. This vital corridor is a key component of the Lagos-Kano Railway Modernization Plan, and it is being delivered as a priority project of the Tinubu administration to deliver dividends of democracy to our people.
We also have completed 10 kilometers of the famous Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in the first section from Bello and then going towards Eleko Junction. 20 kilometers is completed by 6 lanes, and it is there for commissioning, Mr. President, and 10 kilometers has been completed at the section of 37.47 going to the end of the first section, which is 47.47. Before renewed hope, the security situation before May 29, 2023 was there, threatening the cohesion, stability and integrity of the Nigerian state. high-profile attacks, widespread displacement, and mass casualties underscored the urgent need for a renewed national security strategy. 5 intractable security challenges impacted.
Now the APC National Summit with the theme Renewed Hope Agenda, and the journey so far is seeking to renew the president's mandate in 2027 for more economic transformation and infrastructural revolutions.
We are addressing the root cause of insecurity through empowerment. We have advanced legislation and motions addressing unemployment, rural neglect, educational access, and youth engagement.
This administration harmonized exchange rates, aligning the naira with market forces. This strategy, while triggering short-term inflationary pressures, we are on the right track, and the future is better than ever.
The APC has welcomed thousands of new members, including high-profile opposition figures and grassroots mobilizers. Most recently, we have welcomed to the APC the Executive Governor of Delta State, His Excellency.
We apologize for the loss of sound in that report. Now, moving on to the judiciary sector. Abuja High Court has nullified the purported illegal expulsion of the member representing Ediato North-South Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives and Opposition Lawmakers Coalition spokesman Ikenga from the People's Democratic Party. The Abuja High Court, in a judgment delivered by Justice Iheme, nullified the purported expulsion, ruling that the action is baseless, illegal, kangaroo, and an act of rascality taken too far. The judge ruled that the first defendant, Ikenga, is still a member of the PDP and a member of the National Assembly. Under the PDP constitution, only the National Executive Committee can discipline a serving National Assembly member, noting that in that instance, the PDP NEC and headquarters in their filings in court categorically denied suspending or expelling Ikenga. Meanwhile, the Center for Human Rights and Civic Education has called on the National Assembly to make the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the 37th state of the Federation. This recognition is argued will not only symbolize its inclusion within the broader national framework, but also address the pressing concerns of the indigenous people. The executive director of the center, Ibrahim Zukurlahi, at a media briefing in Abuja said currently the regional inhabitants grapple with a myriad of challenges, including statelessness, which leaves them without the rights and privileges afforded to citizens and recognized states.
People, when other states are electing their governors, their legislatures to determine their future, then the FCT original inhabitants and the residents are sitting at home because they have been disenfranchised. They don't have right to vote for who governs them.
And that's the news at this hour. Thank you so much for being a part of it. My name is Frama Panyi. Have a good night.